Youth Emergency Services really started because of a group of concerned citizens that knew there was a problem with youth and runaways in the Omaha metropolitan area. 1970 is when really this started to pick up. 70, 71, we had the kids in the market. We still had hippies at that time, and the drug culture was just starting. There was actually a runaway house started, and then the YMCA ran that house. That was called the 1316 house. It only ran for a while. The funding ran out, but the need did not go away. So we looked at ways that we could best serve the community, and we knew that the shelter was needed. I remember sitting at work one day looking in the one ads for houses for rent, and spotted the first one that we ended up with, which is at 47th and Davenport. And that was a 5-bedroom home, and that became our first shelter. The first house was called the Whitman Center, and Roger Duncan named that after Walt Whitman. We had that house full to every room in that house, because we had not only youth being served there, we had the administrative office, the staff offices, and the board met in the home as well. So that was our one little place for a number of years while we got the organization started and kept trying to get funding. Funding was always the biggest issue for the group.
The very first meeting that I went to, there was a motion made to pay part of the bills, the outstanding bills. And I was incredulous, and I said, "What's going on?" And they said, "Well, don't you do this at home? Decide which bills you're going to pay and how much you're going to pay." That's how little funds we had. So I realized at the very first that the big challenge was funding the organization. I encouraged the board to help us with funding, was to look forward, and we started with 5-year plans, looking ahead, strategic planning sessions, and to hold money in reserve. We were running the board like we were going to be here for a while, not like we're waiting for the Easter Bunny to come.
The organization's really grown. They've actually executed their strategic plan from 15 years ago. The maternity group home, I think back in quaint terms of a home for unwed mothers. When I was a kid, that's what they would call it, but a maternity group home. The transitional living program, the shelter is still just a great resource for people. I think the drop-in center is just a great thing. People can come in and wash their clothes and get a shower and have some parenting classes or have an STD class, whatever kind of educational opportunity, get counseling for a job. The street outreach program has really blossomed into a very significant resource for the homeless kids and the street kids.
We were one of the pioneers in that area to get involved with trying to do something with the youth that you would see on almost any given night in the old market during the summer. You wondered, where are they coming from? Where are they staying, etc.? Who was taking an opportunity to investigate that and do something about it? Here was our opportunity to give them some chances, to aid them, and to bring about some minor successes, at least in their life. And so we proceeded to initiate and implement this particular program.
And so we started out just having workers go through the old market, and it was a relatively limited number of hours a week, and give us feedback as to, with some metrics, how many new kids do they encounter, what were the kind of situations they were seeing, what kind of stories. I was personally really surprised to learn how many of the homeless youth have children themselves, and that was kind of shocking.
It got some national recognition too, because there just wasn't many at all doing this throughout the nation. helping homeless youth. These were opportunities then for us to intervene and step in and see if we could give some assistance to these young people to try to see that the rest of the course of their life wasn't going to be as disastrous as this early part of their life.
I was actually calling around for facilities to get a place for our 40th reunion. And one of the ladies I spoke with on the phone was actually a YES graduate. She had been in the program during her teen years, had fully admitted to making bad choices, and how wonderful the organization was. And because we're a board, we don't necessarily get that one-on-one with the kids, and you don't get to see these great success stories all the time. Typically you hear about the stuff that maybe went wrong or didn't go the way we wanted it to. But to hear somebody just go, oh, you saved my life, or you brought my family back together, that's just been an amazing feeling. The board of directors has definitely evolved over the years. We've gone from being a very hands-on type of board where, again, that personal commitment of checks being written to make payroll, or families of boards coming together to paint facilities or fix up a home so that it would be livable for the youth we serve. That has kind of changed, and we've evolved into a board that's actually, to Mark Trinan's point, really getting more focused in on the strategic direction of the organization. And that's where I think we've come to this point now. We've grown up, if you will, as a board of directors, and we're now able to really focus and put our energies towards direction of ending homelessness by the year 2020, which is our goal, our long-term mission.